them, or will it be another Englishman, Ross Smith, who makes it through to round 2 to face the Grand Slam champion Gerwyn Price? Well, look, Ross Smith could do this. He's playing some excellent stuff. Made the quarterfinals of the UK Open, but Krzysztof Ratajski is a player. He is an absolute gun of a player in this sport. And I, for one, would relish the opportunity to see him go up against Gerwyn Price again, because they've had some right old ding-dongs over the last few months. But I think this game hangs in the balance. Krzysztof, however brilliantly he has played this year, and he's in the top 10 in the averages list on the Pro Tour, he's not really got the results. And he's only made one quarter-final so far this year. He'll be looking to put things right after a series of last 16 runs where he's threatened to go and win a title.
To throw first. Game on.
But he has not got the job done. In fact, Ross Smith, when you look at the results this year, that quarter-final at the UK Open probably trumps Krzysztof's one quarter-final on the tour. Paul Nicholson in the commentary box for this one with me, Dan Dawson. It's Smudger and the Polish Eagle.
Yeah, I'm another one of those guys who relishes watching rivalry games, and
58.
I get on great with Ross Smith, and I wish him every success in chasing down that match play spot, because he is right near that line, and
55.
Mervyn King was behind that line until the last game, so he looks like he's in good spot to get himself back in the reckoning, because he's in Copenhagen. Ross Smith is not,
99.
So that makes this game huge.
Well, Krzysztof Ratajski won 3 titles last year,
134.
despite not even having a tour card, which is bonkers.
That'll never happen again.
No, I don't think so. And I don't see Krzysztof Ratajski not having a tour card for a very long time, because this man is so good. So good.
As far as draws go, this is a bit of a stinker
60.
for Ross Smith. It could have been a lot kinder.
64.
And what a section as well, with Gerwyn Price awaiting the winner. And we've already seen a clash of styles
81.
with the just serene Steve Beaton and the fiery Chuck Norris. This one won't be a clash so much, because Ross tends not to let himself get worked up in games, just goes about his business. Krzysztof, I mean, he has the unmovable visage of a cow trying to do calculus. There's nothing. It's just the same face all the time.
2 16s for an 83 conversion.
51.
I'd be wondering how that didn't go in.
40.
But Ross Smith, got to give him credit. That 1-3-1 in the last visit was mammoth. Put all the pressure on Ratajski, and that was just sublime approaching.
Krzysztof to throw first.
And he got rid of it pronto.
He did. Now, they've played a couple of times before. Ross Smith actually won the back end of last year, just before the World Grand Prix.
82.
And Krzysztof had one title to his name. He then added another couple. The former world master.
So Ross Smith beat him when he was just about to pop.
58.
Their other meeting was actually in their pre-PDC days, where Krzysztof won it. It was a semi-final of the Czech Open fully a decade ago, 2009.
So we can't really read a lot into that.
No, of course you can't.
Because there's been a lot of water under the bridge since then. And if you were to go up to Ross Smith and say, do you remember playing against Ratajski 10 years ago? He'll probably say no. Because a lot of the events within the BDO system
59.
that amount of time ago, you've got to play so many games that you'll not be able to remember all of them.
Well, it was one of his first steel-tip titles.
96.
That one, Krzysztof Ratajski. Won the Denmark Open back in 2008. 2009 he won the Poland National Championships and the Czech Open. And he played soft tip prior to that. But he has turned into one of the best practitioners of steel tip darts on this planet. And that is not
93.
hyperbole.
Rest of you require 62.
Another last Dart treble has just asked the question of Ratajski a little bit more. Single 20. Can he get double 16 this time and deny Ross Smith a chance? Yes, he
He's
can.
on the second leg, Krzysztof Ratajski.
That's what you expect from Krzysztof.
To throw first.
This one has got every possibility of going really deep. And
100.
there were no deep games in qualifying. 3 6-2s and a 6-4. 4 games in total, 2 each to get here. And Ratajski came through. Vincent van der Meer, Antonio Alcinas. He had that very Ratajski-esque type quality. 95 and 99 averages, so he's around that 97 mark. That's where he lives.
Yeah. Well, you look at his Pro Tour numbers.
96.
Nearly 50 games. He's averaging more than 96. And that puts him 10th in the list.
That's really handy.
Well, for a guy who's made one quarter-final as well, that's the thing.
I've always said that when
55.
people play better against you, it's not just trying to make the loser feel better. It is a compliment. People realise they need to play against you.
Yeah.
So if you've got those stats there of 96 over 50 games and you haven't got titles, you haven't got any massively deep runs, it's because people really know how they've got to play to beat you. He is a huge threat.
99.
Well, look, losing averages this year in the Players' Championship Series, 102.7 against James Wade, 97 against Ryan Searle, 100.6 against Dimitri van den Berg.
140.
He lost his most recent game to Robert Thornton in the most recent Players' Championship, where the Thorn had an incredible day. Ratajski averaged
59,
106 in that game.
All-time great Robert Thornton.
All-time great Robert Thornton, 3-time major champion, hit a 9-darter the other day. That's not where it needed to be, but it's not the end of the world.
Not right now when your opponent's on 233.
49.
That'll do. Yeah, the only thing Robert Thornton didn't do that day was win the tournament.
Yeah, it looked like he was going to for a moment. Well, this would just be a little reminder, wouldn't it? That's 3 180s for Krzysztof Ratajski.
32.
Over the top. And really well done. This is a good tussle. Do not leave this one.
Game on.
I think there are legs in this match. And Ratajski may not be
57.
the most animated of players, but for some reason, dramatic games seem to follow him. Not just the games against Gerwyn Price, but let's not forget, arguably the best game of the Euro Tour this year against Michael Smith. He's had a couple of them. They've been belters.
Yeah, I think the thing is, the key... Yeah, there are so many memorable games in this sport, and everybody can pick out their
96.
favourite ones. But the vast majority of the time, they're memorable because they're really good. And what happens? Things happen in games where
58.
players are being put under pressure and put under constant pressure, and that's what Ratajski does, because he just keeps on motoring in these high 90s averages, sometimes much more than that. He's averaged 112 on the tour this year, and because he's constantly putting you under pressure, it does tell, and people either make mistakes, or they're forced to do something brilliant, or they crack emotionally, or they let out, or something weird happens, because that's what
60.
he does to you. Even Gerwyn Price was in full Gerwyn Price mode, yelling and screaming and really trying to fire himself up, because whatever he threw at Ratajski at the Players' Championship finals in their first round clash, Ratajski just took it and chucked it back at him in his own implacable way.
80.
Yeah, as far as darting chins are concerned, I think Ratajski's like granite.
Yeah, he just walks through punches and chucks them back at you.
60.
And not every player is like that. Some players are more fragile than others. And Ratajski is built of really tough stuff.
And again, we come back to the World Cup, where he's going to be
60.
teaming up with Titus Karnik, who's made it a Pro Tour semi-final this year. Granted, his numbers that he's producing aren't of the same standard that Ratajski is producing in terms of the averages, but Ratajski hasn't made a semi-final this year. Karnik has.
94.
What's more, they're playing together for the second year in a row, so the chemistry is likely to be a lot better. And Ross Smith has got 131
119.
But this is really tricky. He may look at 51, he might look at 60. 51 for 2 double tops. Oh, the line was perfect.
91.
So close.
32.
32 required.
He's on a full flag. Krzysztof Ratajski.
32 pin.
I'm not sure there's anybody in world darts right now, Dan, that leaves double 16 as much as Krzysztof.
It is his double of choice.
78.
Maybe Gurney.
Well, you know what? It's weird with Gurney because his stats this year, yes, double 16 is the double that won him the World Grand Prix because he hit it more than 50% of the times he was going for it in that tournament to start and to finish.
60.
But he's actually, his Premier League stats, he's marginally better on tops. But obviously Merv leaves it as much as possible, doesn't he?
That's true. Very good point.
140.
But I just think Ratajski's one of those players where whatever double he leaves himself, you've just got confidence that it's going to go.
Well, he's one of the rare guys on tour that on 68 will go treble 12 to leave double 16. Now, even Merv doesn't do that because Merv's cut from an old school cloth where on 68 you have to go for the 60 to leave double 4.
Second 180 for Ross Smith. 5 maximums in this match already. Weirdly, Krzysztof, is that his fourth? Well, not quite. That's his first ton 40 score. He's had 3 180s, 3 scores of over a ton, and 1 140.
Double 16.
Oh, really good. 12 darter, Ross Smith.
The one thing that's different about Ross Smith today, as opposed to his last couple of performances on the big stage in the Euro Tour, is that he's scoring better today. He looks more confident. He looks more energised.
Oh, he was very relaxed. I was just in the players' room. He looked very relaxed and comfortable just at a few minutes before he was due on stage for this one.
57.
I know that at one of the European Tour events a couple of months ago, I travelled with him and he wasn't very well at all. He was lethargic.
Really struggling.
He was really struggling with some stomach flu or something like that.
I think it was, yeah.
And just turning up and actually playing was quite the achievement. I think he won his first game there as well. But here, you can tell from his facial expression and the rigidity of his action, because it is a very rigid action that he has. It just looks focused. He looks urgent. And that's a word I've been using a lot this season about certain players. When they look urgent, like this is a game they have to win, you can tell by the facial expression.
It is a much admired technique that Ross Smith has. You speak to some of the players and they'll pick him out as just, it looks good. It looks so simple, clean, efficient.
Definitive points of reference with the throw. Where he stops, it's every time. It's on that right angle from the side on angle, just like this. If you were to see it, you can see that definitive right angle of the arm. It's so good. That's a scoring angle of a dart as well. If you can get that straight, 40. He can group them really close together.
He's already shown that a few times in this game, but he's just done enough to leave a finish. Not really a double-double man, Krzysztof Ratajski.
52, also require 164.
Well, the 1-3-1, he scared it. This time, it's a bigger shot. And again, it's dart 2 that's just shy.
96. Krzysztof, you require 40.
So for a level game of 3-3, it's Ratajski on tops. Can't afford to miss. And doesn't. That's the perfect dart. Ask all the pros, where do they want to hit a double? They want it on the inside of the outside wire. That's the really professional hit.
125.
But unfortunate with that deflection. Ratajski at the minute ticking along 50% on doubles, but Ross Smith has only missed 1 double so far. The finishing of both of these guys has been good. It's Ratajski's scoring, which has been explosive for little visits, but he hasn't backed it up with enough. That's a 4th 180 for Ratajski, and yet there's not really been enough around that. It's coming from Ross Smith. 7 maximums in this tie now.
Some response from Smudger. I iterate again. This is a big match for Ross Smith. And he is playing it really well.
Look at this. This is the pressure that Ratajski can apply. The average hasn't been up at that sort of 96 to 99 range that you expect from him in this match, but he's dragging it up there.
Just when you think Ross Smith has got this leg right where he wants it, Ratajski just keeps coming back. What a response from Ratajski.
135.
And now Ross Smith again has got to take out a huge shot when Ratajski is way, way down at 46. That may not be good enough.
46.
Single 14.
That's about as much emotion as you get from Krzysztof. A little exhalation. Double 16 is lethal in this match for the Polish Eagle. And Ross Smith did not play poorly in that last leg, but he has been broken.
Well, here you see the importance of 12 dart legs. 12 and 11 dart, 4 visit legs, because Ross Smith has not been doing anything wrong in this game. He is averaging 97 44. And has only missed 1 dart at double. But Ratajski has put in a stunning leg of darts to get that break of throw that he needs.
100.
If Ross Smith doesn't win this game and is on a flight home tomorrow, how important is it for him to qualify for Prague?
Well, it does become big, and look, we've seen it many times where players who are looking to get to a big tournament for the first time in their careers, and knowing that they're close, knowing that they have to do a bit, that it just makes it harder and harder to actually get it done.
I'll say from experience, Dan, being on that bubble ain't fun, because everybody around you is talking about it. You can't dodge the conversation. You've got to confront it, and you've got to run through that gate. Can't be edgy about it. You just got to say, I'm going to get it done. Everybody get out of my way.
100.
And I think Ross Smith has got that attitude.
Well, leaves himself 167. We have already seen a 103 check out
57
from Ross, but he doesn't need to go for this. He'll just pound away at the treble 20 here, I think. Well, maybe not now.
And the only reason he stayed on the 19s there was because of that lie. Otherwise, he was going up to 18s.
And proved to be the correct decision in the end.
Ratajski is going to get 2 trebles and put himself on 64. Just felt it. It's what he's been doing all game. Forcing Smith to take this out. 54. This is a massive dart in this match.
51.
A little bit of a pull. Teller was just 64. A bit edgy. And now, after that 2 treble visit, Ratajski is doing what he always does. In the bottom left corner. Double 8.
Clinical. Absolutely clinical from the Polish Eagle. 5-3 against a man still averaging 97 and hitting 60% of his doubles. Because this is what Krzysztof Ratajski can do. He can infuriate you with his consistency. And that is 8 maximums in this match. Ross Smith ties up the count at 4 apiece.
I've said it once today already. It's only 1 break of throw, Ross. But it's easier said than done when your opponent is coming back at you like this. It's another maximum. This has been tough quality stuff. And they are stealing the show. And Smith is on. Oh, no more.
5 perfect darts from Ross Smith. We will not see Ratajski better that. But he could make it 5 perfect out of 6. And he does. And even when Ross Smith goes off like a train, Krzysztof Ratajski is breathing down his neck with the winning line in sight. Look at this. Ross Smith could... Mike De Decker lost an average of almost 105 earlier on. He didn't do anything wrong. Ross Smith hasn't done a great deal wrong in this game. But Krzysztof Ratajski has just been relentless. If you give him a sniff, it goes. And he's got a sniff.
137. Russia require 85.
Yet again, he's under pressure. He's had no breathing space in this match at all. What a dart that is, to give himself an opportunity Opportunity is lost, and that may be the match lost now. Pure brilliance from Ratajski has got him right at the gate.
Match starts. Absolutely superb. Another 11 darter. Ross Smith has averaged a ton there. He's only missed 3 darts at double in the entire match, and he pretty much had to hit all of them to beat Krzysztof Ratajski in this kind of mood. The Polish Eagle will have a rematch with Gerwyn Price, and that looks mouth-watering.
Ja, dames en heren, ik denk dat u met mij eens bent.